Hey, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Messy Monday, where MK and I are using uh, texture paste all month long. Also playing along with Speedy Scrapbooking Hop over at Ginger's Corner. This is the sketch I am using today. We had an option of using 23 different sketches, and that's the one I chose for today. I'm also playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. That's Crystal over at Pineapple Papers. This is my Pinterest pin, so it's some torn paper and some blue and white going on. So I chose some photos of the little guy I take care of, which includes a lot of blue, and some paper from 49 and Market, which I just have a bit of it here. I don't have a whole sheet. So I am going to go ahead and tear it. It already had a torn edge on it, so I thought that was perfect for the pin that I had chosen for Pinterest. And I am going to rotate that sketch one turn clockwise or counterclockwise. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's got some splatter marks on it. It also has the torn edge or torn papers on the edge, and so that's what I'm going with. I've also pulled out this stencil from Kaiser Craft. It's a really old stencil. I've had it in my stash for a very long time, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. It's not, I don't believe it's available at all anymore because, like I said, it's very old. And I have also pulled out some Liquitex glass beads, which I've had in my stash for a long time. You can tell by the jar it's been used quite a bit, but I haven't used it in a long time. So I am using it today. And what it is it's like a texture paste, but it's got little tiny glass beads in it, kind of like micro beads. And it will take on whatever color I mix with it. So I had the option of maybe using like a re-inker or something like that, but in this case I pulled out some Nuvo shimmer powder in blue, which I have had in my stash for a very long time. I don't know if this color is even available anymore or not. If it is, I will link it down below, just like everything else that I'm using today that is available. Anyway, it is super pigmented, which is one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and pull it out. You can color your texture paste using re-inker, you can use ink spray, you can use just an ink pad, but just keep in mind if you're mixing it with something that dries white, it is not going to be as vibrant as what you think because the white is going to kind of tone it down a bit. In this case, the glass beads, the actual paste that it is in, is transparent. So it's just going to take on that blue really well. And plus it is highly pigmented, the powder that I'm using, which you can just mix with water and use it like a watercolor. But it's super pigmented, so it's going to have a really good amount of vibrancy in it. I wasn't even sure how it was going to look on top of the dark blue papers, but as you can see here, it works just fine. And I really like it because it brings in the lighter blues that are in these pool photos, and I think it looks pretty cool. So this is the little guy I take care of. He had swim lessons for 2 weeks this summer, which I know seems like it's not a very long amount of time if it was a standard swim lesson, but it is an infant ISR, infant swim, yeah, I'm not sure what it's called, but basically they teach them, the first thing they teach them is how to float. So, and it's kind of like if you fell in the pool, this is how you float. It's not a really, you know, they're not babied a lot. They're just taught in an emergency, this is what you do. And he passed with flying colors. He did this last summer as well, so it's his second summer doing it. Eventually they'll start working on strokes, on kicking and all that kind of stuff, but this is you know, super important. They do have a pool in their yard and they do go boating, so it's super important that he knows how to flip over and float in the event of an emergency. And oftentimes they start out these lessons with a lot of tears and a lot of crying, which is okay. The teacher just keeps on going and working right through it, because that is actually the best time to teach them to react to the water and turn over and swim and float when they are already upset, because in the event of falling in the pool or falling in the lake or something like that, I mean, he does wear a life vest on the boat, but you know, and their pool is gated and locked and all of that kind of stuff, but you know what I mean. it's best to know what to do under an emergency type of a situation, and if he's already upset, he doesn't need the clarity of mind to know roll over and flip and float. So and you know, he gets popsicles at the end of his each week, and that's always fun too. So yeah, it was a really good experience for him, especially this year. There was a lot less crying than last year because he kind of understood what was happening, and he just went with it. So I used more of that blue shimmer powder from Nuvo. Sorry guys, I feel a sneeze coming. And with a little bit of water, excuse me, and went ahead and painted my wood veneer pieces with it. And then I'm adding some Stickles glitter gel in Galaxy, and this kind of that same turquoisey color. And I'm not doing full coverage on that. I'm just adding a little bit here and there to bring in extra sparkle, which is kind of like my representation of the water, the sunlight hitting the water. And I think it looks really cool. My little splatters here are from MK's shop, some assemblage required. They are wood veneer, a 1/16 of an inch thick, and already adhesive backed for you, so you don't have to do any additional work to add adhesive. And you can definitely paint them, color them with watercolor. You can add texture paste. You can add all kinds of good things to them to change them up, or you can just leave them the natural wood grain. That works as well. I love the way that they look. You see me use wood grain quite a bit because I love her products, but you don't always see me altering it, and so here I am altering it with 3 different items: that shimmer powder, the Stickles glitter gel, and then a little bit of white paint, just plain old white paint, and I'm just tapping it on the edges to kind of give you the feeling of like a white water. Anyway, I'm loving how that's looking. I also have this stamp set that I'm using from Kelly Perky. It's a very old stamp set for planners. I've got the little tiny word pool and a pair of sunglasses, so that's going to go inside of the little I guess you would call that like a ribbon, metal, yeah, like a ribbon. So it's going to go inside of there. I guess I could have just used the sunglasses because pool doesn't really add anything to it, but he is at the pool, so I thought I'll go ahead and put that on there. And it's super tiny and really cute. So I'm adding a few labels to do a little bit of extra writing. I'm also adding some stars because this was actually graduation day from his little class, and you can see he's got a medal around his neck, and he has a photo with his teacher, which the girls both went to this same swim teacher, and she's amazing. So definitely wanted to get that in his album. I've done a layout of the oldest one with the same swim teacher, and I don't think I've done the second one. I've got to go through her album and see if she has a layout for this type of thing as well. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put all of those down. I am inking up the edges of everything with some Catherine Pooler Dress Blues, which is a much darker blue, closer to the paper that I am using. And I really like the way that that looks. Just kind of pops everything and makes it a little bit more bold. I also have an acrylic piece from Color Cast Designs. It's an older piece. It's been in my stash for a long time. It says Little Dude, and originally I was going to say hooray little dude, or congrats little dude, or something like that, but I didn't really like any of the word die cuts that I had that said hooray or wow. I had one that said wow. I had one that said congrats. They just didn't work really well with the font of little. So stacking them up, they just didn't look right. So I just went with Little Dude because he actually does look like a little dude in those photos. And in the photo second from the left, he looks like he could be just like standing at the barbecuing something. The look on his face. I know you can't see it, but that's what he looks like to me. So I think it works. I am popping up some of these stars onto some foam tape. These stars are really old. They are from one of the masculine Cocoa Vanilla collections, and they're just leftovers. I don't even know which collection they're from at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and add a few of those onto here. I also love the wood veneer because not only are there splats, but there are splashes. You can see the one that looks like it's a splash coming up from the ground, and then there are drips, like they're dripping down. So I just think they're really fun, and I am going to go with those as a good textural element for this layout. And they're actually adding less texture or less dimension than the title is, which is awesome. So that's always fun. I also will link those down below for you in case you're interested in picking up some of those. MK does, I believe she does still have those in her shop. So while I finish this up, don't forget there are a bunch of people playing along with Off the Board. There's a link down below for the playlist for the month of July. It also, Off the Board happens every month, the last Wednesday of the month, but for the whole month of July, we are pulling pins from Pinterest that we are inspired by and using those to inspire our layouts. There is also a link down below for Ginger's Corner, which is a Facebook group where you can find out more about the Speedy Scrapbooking hop. I don't know that this was a whole lot faster for me. Usually a sketch is going to make it a lot faster, but because I am doing a lot of mixed media on here, it might not be as fast as it would have been otherwise. But I think that's okay, because that's one of the things, like, you invest your time in one thing, but then something else is faster. So I didn't have to come up with the way the layout came together, but I took my time doing the mixed media portion of it. Maybe on in other circumstances, I might take my time coming up with how the layout is put together and not do any mixed media. So it's kind of a trade-off. Anyway, also check out what MK is doing over on her channel for Messy Monday. We are both doing texture pastes this month, and so you'll find lots of inspiration on our channels for using texture paste. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down below. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. And if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing as well, and hit the bell for notifications so that you'll get a notification each time I release a new video. Thank you for choosing my channel today and spending time with me. I really do appreciate it. And I will be back again real soon with another video, so come back and join me then. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.